What went wrong with him this IPL? That's not the Rishabh Pant we expected or we have seen before. Is it some technical flaw in his batting? Is it a mental block? Or is it the pressure of being the most expensive player in the IPL and to justify that price tag? Is it the owner's pressure? Because Lucknow Super Giants does have that history. We're going to go and break down what went wrong with Rishabh Pant, and it's none of the things that we think. So Rishabh Pant, we all know that he had a major car accident. He had to take about 1 or 2 years off to be able to recover physically and finally get back onto the field. There was no replacement of Rishabh Pant in Test cricket. We all know as a wicketkeeper batsman, he's the best wicketkeeper batsman in tests that we've had and that we have right now. So obviously there's a lot of pressure on him to be able to return. He's probably insecure that his spot might be taken away. He might have some captaincy ambitions as well. So a lot of pressure on Rishabh Pant to be able to make a comeback with a bang. Sure, physically he was able to recover quite early, probably earlier than the doctors had told him. But was he fine completely? In the accident, Rishabh Pant's right leg was twisted at a 90-degree angle from his knee down. The doctors had told him that if he hadn't twisted that knee at the right time, right at the accident spot, there was a chance that it could have been amputated and he could have never played cricket ever again. Imagine hearing those words when you've given your life and blood, sweat and tears and everything to make it professional as a cricketer, and you hear that. Just a whisker. Your life has been saved. So that gets appreciated, that Rishabh Pant had the mental strength to be able to recover physically very well. But physical recovery requires a lot of your genetic, how you are made up as a body and how good physically you are. Rishabh Pant is excellent as an athlete. He has an excellent body. He has done gymnastics a lot from his childhood. So physical recovery for him was not as difficult as it would have been if it was someone else in place of Rishabh Pant. So was there a mental aspect that we haven't seen? That mental aspect is what I have noticed Rishabh Pant is going through. We'll have to discuss this in a lot of detail. What is that mental aspect? PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, what is post-traumatic stress disorder? People who go through a traumatic event like an accident or a war or a loved one passing away or abuse or torture or something like that, it puts up a mental scar in your head. And the thing is, it usually does not come right after the event. It comes at a minimum of 30 days after the event, sometimes even more, 6 months, 1 year later. I'll give you a very big example of who goes through post-traumatic stress disorder the most. I'll be addressing it as PTSD. So PTSD is very, very common among army men. My dad is from Uttarakhand and I've seen a lot of people from there going to the army. And if you go in the highways of Uttarakhand or if you go near Dehradun, there's a lot of restaurants, roadside eateries called dhabas that are run by former army generals and majors. Why do you think so? It's also a way for them income, but it's also for them to be able to get busy and move on from the stress they've been through of the war. It's a way of their recovery mentally. It's a very big aspect among army men. If you know, World War veterans have been through that. So let's get on to the symptoms. It's not even 30 days. Usually it's within 3 months after the event, the person can have PTSD. Now, Rishabh Pant recovered within a year and a half approximately. He physically recovered, but then he right away got into a hectic season of IPL when he was captaining Delhi Capitals. So very stressful event, captaincy, batting. And then he was right away called into the T20 squad, T20 World Cup. He played all the games, very stressful, very high pressure. We all know as an Indian cricketer, the amount of pressure each individual has is second to none. Then after the T20 World Cup, there was a little bit of a break. Bangladesh series was easy, but then the traumatic New Zealand series where there was a clean sweep at home for the first time in 12 years, I think, that India had witnessed. A lot of stress because you had Border Gavaskar Trophy coming up in Australia.
Stupid, stupid, stupid.
That series didn't go as planned. Again, a lot of stress. After that, there was Champions Trophy. There was an England series at home and then Champions Trophy. Rishabh Pant didn't get to play any of those games. A lot of pressure, a lot of trouble. And then after the Champions Trophy was won, then came the IPL. Very rigorous tournament. And I think all these events never gave a breathing space for someone like Rishabh Pant to be able to breathe and settle down mentally. The pressure was always high on him. And let me tell you one more aspect. Rishabh Pant, after he left Delhi Capitals and he was in the auction, he had an offer from Chennai Super Kings to be able to play for them, but only as a player because Gaikwad was captaining. But Rishabh Pant wanted captaincy. So he took that additional pressure as well. And then Lucknow Super Giants doesn't help because they also have the history of, the captaincy and the owner. If you do well, you're great. If you don't do well, there's a lot of issues that could come in. I don't want to get into that. But again, that's a pressure. Most expensive player. So the pressure has always been on top of Rishabh Pant's head as an Indian cricketer. A lot of big events coming up. But how did I notice that PTSD could be an issue with Rishabh Pant. You ask me, right? What are the symptoms of PTSD? You get emotionally detached. You lose concentration at work. You cannot sleep properly. You have a lot of mood swings. You are not the same person. One of the best examples, if you want to understand what PTSD is visually, if you've seen the movie New York and when John Abraham returns from prison and that mental trauma that he has, that's PTSD. The whole movie portrays it really well. When you're sleeping, you suddenly wake up because something triggered you and you have that recalling of that traumatic event. Now, this was a life-threatening situation for Rishabh Pant. He could have lost his life. He could have never played cricket again. He could have lost his leg. That does affect the mental aspect somewhere in your head. Somewhere Rishabh Pant must have been thinking, my goodness, I could have never played. I'm getting this second chance. I have to make the most of it. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because of that mental aspect that, oh my goodness, I almost died there. My career was almost over there. I have the second life. I have to make the most of it. I cannot let even one opportunity go. In that process, he put additional pressure on him. The pressure of being an Indian player was already on him. The pressure of being the most expensive player was on him. Captaincy pressure on him. The other series when he was playing for India did not help either. A little bit of unsuccessful series that he had didn't help on him. Not getting a game in Champions Trophy didn't help on him. All of these factors combine along with PTSD and show a mental block that Rishabh Pant has. We don't know if Rishabh Pant is having flashbacks or not. He hasn't shared with anyone. We don't know if he's breaking into sweat while he's asleep, if he has having trouble emotionally, if he's moody. Players around him, people around him, they would only know what he's going through. Sweating, your heartbeat races, stress. These are the few physical symptoms of PTSD. You can even have difficulty falling asleep. Your concentration isn't 100% at work because I think he just hasn't addressed that issue, that he's going through that. Nobody around him has addressed that issue, that you need some mental help. I'll tell you an example where I noticed this, that Rishabh Pant is going through this. Number one, the way he bats. Clearly, he doesn't have 100% focus on his batting. Playing a reverse sweep on the second ball is not Rishabh Pant. We all know when he takes his time, he settles down, then he hits the runs. That's usual Rishabh Pant in every format. I've never seen him play reverse sweep at the second ball. It's easy to say that he's not doing the right thing as a batsman, but you have to understand what he's going through right now. He hasn't addressed that PTSD, so a loss of concentration at work is clearly visible. Now being irritable and angry easily. If you watch the game against Punjab at Dharamshala and the dugout, I've never seen Rishabh Pant get angry at his bowlers, ever, no matter what the situation was. He would always captain with a smile. He would be having fun with them. He would keep everything light. If you don't believe me, you can see other people's interviews like Surya Kumar Yadav and even Ishan Kishan or Shivam Dubey, Akshar Patel. We know the boisterous nature Rishabh Pant has, and he himself has admitted how he likes to keep things light. He doesn't like to take the pressure. It's because that is when his best comes out. If you want to see this interview, whatever I've said, watch his own interview of Aapki Adalat with Rajat Sharma. He himself says that I like to make fun with people. I like joking around. He teases Virat Kohli. If you have the guts to tease Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli is certainly okay with it, that shows the kind of friendly nature he has and how he keeps things light in the team and the environment and the whole vibe. It says a lot.
You got a special guest today. Come on, monkey. You got a special guest, huh? Have you heard the word temporary captain ever? Hey, Monk, have you heard the word?
He's not the same when you see him captaining behind the stumps now. He's not joking around. He's getting irritable. He himself said it, that I like to joke around regardless of the situation is. There was one tense situation that Surya Kumar Yadav was talking about. He was fielding. It was a tight match, do or die. Rishabh Pant behind the stumps. And he's chirping with Surya Kumar Yadav that, joking around with him. And Surya Kumar was like, how can you joke in such a terrible situation? The match, we were almost losing. What can you do? How can you do that? But that was Rishabh Pant. Did you see that doing him right now? In the game against Punjab Kings at Dharamshala, why did he look so distressed? Now his physical symptoms are coming up. Before he was hiding all of that, bottling all those emotions up and not showing it to the public eye. So everybody thought he's fine, but he clearly isn't. Like a pressure cooker, he's been boiling up. All of the events that I mentioned, that his Indian team stint and the IPL pressure, none of them have given him breathing space mentally. Him not addressing that he has a mental disorder, it's clearly not helping him. Pant has a specific article on Cricinfo where he clearly says that I thought my life was over. The kind of things he says, I'll share the articles about the post-traumatic stress disorder and his quotes, the Aapki Adalat interview and the rest of those in the description box. You have to see the kind of words Rishabh Pant uses. First time in my life, I had that feeling of letting it go. I felt my time in the world was over. At the time of the accident, I was aware of the wounds, but I was lucky as it could have been even more serious. I'm focusing on recovery, cut off from the world. It helps me in recovering fast especially when the injury is serious. For recovery, you have to do the same thing every day. It's boring, irritating, frustrating, but you have to do it. I asked the doctor how long would it take me to recover. He said it would take 16 to 18 months. I told the doctor that whatever timeline he gave me, I would reduce 6 months from it. He definitely rushed it. Physically, he was fine. We can all see it. Like I explained, the Indian situation of, not losing their spot and all of that. Clearly, he wanted to rush through that. I don't think he paid attention of that PTSD. Now, coming back to the conclusion, we've clearly seen symptoms what Rishabh Pant is going through. We know what PTSD is, we know the symptoms of it, and we've seen it in Rishabh Pant now. That is the reason for his horrendous IPL that he's been having. It's the bottling up of all the events, not addressing that he has PTSD and working on it. And maybe if he had played this IPL without captaincy, just as a batsman, maybe under Dhoni this season at Chennai, things would have been completely different for Chennai as well as Rishabh Pant. Now, overall, my closing thoughts are, you would be saying he has all the resources at his disposal. Why isn't he understanding himself? Why isn't anyone suggesting it to him? This is where the situation comes in India. How many mental disorders do we talk about in India? Mentioning that you have a mental disorder or you have a mental issue, mental health issue, is a big thing, regardless of the gender. If you think it's easy for a woman, it's not. If you think it's easy for a man, it certainly is not. Especially when you're in the public image and you're so popular, it kind of affects your image and you don't want to portray that you're having a mental issue. Maybe his team selection could have been affected. Maybe he would have not been selected for certain important events. A lot of that insecurity creeps up because of the high competition. Maybe he knows what he's going through, but he's not addressing it because he has no time to address it. And clearly, I just think simply he should just take a breather for 3 to 6 months, hire a therapist, address it like, yes, I'm going through this. Because if he gives those 3 to 6 months to his mental health, you will see a completely different player, a much improved Rishabh Pant, even better than what he was before the accident. People around him see him that he's getting irritated, he's under pressure, he's not handling the price tag. It's not just that, it's so many factors combined. And fans trolling doesn't help. As a celebrity, no matter how much you avoid social media, you will get to know right from there, looking into people's eye, that they're making fun of you. And as a celebrity, the amount of insecurity you have, as a Indian cricketer, the amount of insecurity you have, and in the back of your head that people are trolling for your price tag, there's memes being made on you and all of that. Little do the audience knows what he's going through. If Rishabh Pant keeps delaying this mental issue, it's only going to get worse for him in cricket and in his life. He's still very young. He can easily have a long career. He still has at least 10 years of cricket. All he needs to do is give those 3 to 6 months to his mind, to his mental health. That's all he should do, and focus on recovery. Number 1, address that you have that issue. Yes, he's got PTSD, he's not doing well. Talk to a therapist, pour your heart out. Number 2, follow those instructions, what the therapist tells you. And for a while, not even think about captaincy. You're not in the right mental state of mind. So that's it from today's video. It was a little bit of a different video, but it's cricket related. It's because Rishabh Pant is one of my favorite players. I cannot see his form like that, and I really wanted to see what went wrong with him. So I dissected a lot, I analyzed a lot. I was reading his body language in most of the games. I saw his body language in most of the important series and World Cups and those trophies that he's played. I saw his body language change with every game in IPL, the way he bats. I know the kind of batsman he is, how his gameplay is. So seeing him bat the way he is for Lucknow, and just you understand somehow by reading the body language of what someone's going through, of how much mental pressure that batsman has. Because I've done a lot of MMA, and once you're sparring, when you're boxing, a lot of your body language gives away whether your opponent is strong or you can defeat him. I'll give you an example. So when you're in the ring and you're boxing, suppose you're sparring with someone and you're only doing boxing for now. Just by the way his body language is, I can tell if I can defeat him or not. That's how much experience you gain by understanding to read someone's body language. So I have a lot of experience reading people's body language because of the kind of sports I've done. So clearly when I saw Rishabh Pant on TV, the way he was going through the game, and he's changed in the past year or so, I could pretty much figure out that something's up with him. I don't think he's 100% correct after the accident. First I thought maybe he's not physically fit, but his acrobatics are always there. He runs in the wickets, his knees thankfully fine, he's quite flexible in wicket keeping, so I could tell physically he's fine. He's recovered very well, but that mental aspect's still there. He rushed into important events very, very quickly, and he took a lot more responsibility than he was prepared for. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you have some questions, you can ask me on my Instagram. Please do go follow me there. You can DM me. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe, because there'll be a lot more different content. If you did enjoy this kind of video, please do let me know on who else I should talk about. Maybe Unmukh Chand could be an example on the mental health issue he must have been through. Maybe someone like Prithvi Shaw. And the thing is, I do a lot of research. I researched a lot about after Rishabh Pant's accident, how he recovered, what was he doing, what was he saying, the words he was using. Like I said, that article. So you end up picking up why he was rushed through the recovery and he didn't pay attention to his mental health. So I can make these kinds of videos on plenty of other cricketers if you want. Yeah, so that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, do press that thumbs up, do subscribe to my channel, do follow me on my Instagram. Until the next video, see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.